Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Props Madness. Pips here. We have a huge slate today, so we'll go through a couple of examples of how to research with Props Madness. For the first example, we'll go to the game Bulls against the Wizards and look at Nikola Vucevic threes. Last 30 games, we can see that he's exactly 50-50 on this line. 1.6 average, but today's matchup is a great one. The Wizards allow a ton of points to pick and roll man. That includes pick and pops as well and in transition. And they overall allows 24th most threes. But we have a new thing on PropsMadness, and that's last 15 rankings for the last 15 games only. And we can see that Wizards are ranked 26th, so they allow fifth most threes over the last 15 games. Of our filters, and for this one, obviously, first gonna start with minutes when he is playing between 28 and 38 minutes. Doesn't change much, but for this example, we are using opponent 3 points allowed, and we'll exclude. We'll only look at bottom 17 teams in threes allowed, and then we can see that his win rate goes up to 21 out of 27, 78%. He averaged 2.1 threes a game. But we can go even further and we can look at defense versus position. So how many threes are big centers scoring against the Wizards? And we can see that they allow fifth most threes to opposing centers. So when we look at the bottom, 17 in this category as well, we can see that Vucevic in this kind of matchups is over in 16 out of 17 games, averaging 2.4 threes. The only game he didn't cover was against the Wizards, but the other two games against the Wizards he covered. So yeah, this looks like a great matchup. And we additionally added similar players by position for threes. And we can see that players like Mal Turner, Sabonis, Adebayo, Turner, like bigs who shoot threes, centers who shoot threes, are over against the Wizards in 11 out of 15 games. So this all looks like a good bet spot to bet Vucevic over threes. The next example for this video will be Devin Booker on the assist against the. I need to set the proper line. This is 5.5 is only on FanDuel, minus 186. So we are going to look at 6.5 line, 105 on multiple books. We'll use Pinnacle for this example. When he is playing between 32 and let's say 44 minutes, Booker is over in 20 out of the last 30 games, averaging 8 assists a game. And the matchups is absolutely amazing. This is assist map, so we can see where the most of his assists are coming from. He assists most above the break threes and at the rim. And Spurs allowed ranked 24th in assist allowed at the rim and 26th in assist allowed above the break three. And overall, we can see that Spurs allow 23rd most assist allowed. But if you look at the rankings, last 15 games, we can see that they allow second most assist over the last 15 games. So you can see that in this kind of minutes and against teams who allow a ton of assists, we'll just try to look at last 20 games when he's playing facing teams who are outside of top 10 in assist allowed, improves to 8.3 average and over in 15 out of 20 games. But we can go a bit further and look at the shooting zone, dominant shooting zone. That's about the break threes. Spurs are ranked 26th. So let's exclude teams who are top 10 here as well. We can see in the last 18 games, since January 26th, Booker is over this line 15 out of 18 games, averaging 8.6 assists when he is playing this kind of matchup in this kind of minutes. And looking at similar players against the Spurs lately, we can see that 12 out of 15 covered by 32% more assists than their closing lines. And if you look at the by position just since March 23rd, guards covered in 11 out of 15, averaging 65% more. Goes well with the fact that they allow second most assists overall. So this will also be a good spot to take an over for Booker against the Spurs. Third example will be in a game Grizzlies against Denver Nuggets. We are going to look at the points. Our guy will be looking at Santi Aldama If you look at the entire season, he covered this line in 36 out of 64 games. Grizzlies had a ton of games with Bane out, Jaren Jackson out, Ja Morant out. So that's the first step. We are going to look at games with Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane. Nothing changed much. Win rate still remains at 57%, averaging 12.1 points a game, which is 1 point above this line. But there are some weird games. We can see that lately he played 30, 25, 30, 30, 36, 26. So he's kind of playing between 22 and 32 minutes. So in that kind of range of minutes, we can see that he covered this in 70% of the games, 17 out of 24, averaging 13.8, well above this line. We can see that on the line shopper that there are better prices than bet on line one. You can see minus 120 on MGM, Bet365, even minus 115 at Hard Rock. So we'll use obviously the best price. Looking at filters, we can see that the matchup wise, he scores most of his points from spot up. Denver allows second most spot up points. They are average in transition and against putback, but overall, other stuff, they are bottom of the league. Matchup wise for shooting zones, kind of a good matchup overall, as the Denver defense has not been good lately. Uh, Spot up defense, when we exclude top 5 teams, is spot up. He's covering this in 79% of the games, 15 out of 19. When we exclude top 5 or like top 3 in both the break 3 defense, this improves even further to the 81% win rate, 13 out of 16 games, averaging 14.7. And we remove all this and look at the head-to-head games against the Denver. He had one game where he scored 6 points, shooting 0 from threes, and the second one when he scored big 28 points. So this will be another example of a good matchup for betting an over, this time on points. And looking at the similar players, we can see that they covered in 15 out of 20 games, which makes sense considering that they allow no spot up and scoring 40% more points than their closing lines. And when we look at the position, they score 60% more than their closing lines and points, also over in 10 out of 15 games. So yeah, we have these 3 examples. I hope you find this helpful and see you in the next video.